The Federal is organizing the Kanyakumari Mini Marathon 2024 to commemorate Mother's Day and Nurses Day this year on May 12. This event is sponsored by Repco Home Finance.
In this special Federal broadcast, we have with us Senior Vice President of the National Conference, Mr. Bashir Ahmad Veeri. Mr. Bashir Ahmad Veeri, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Veeri, the polls for the Anantnag Rajouri parliamentary seat have been deferred on the basis of inclement weather. And National Conference had raised an objection not only over the gerrymandering, delimitation, but also this deferment of polls. What was the objection?
They have taken cognizance on the application or letter of those parties who are not participating in the election, number one. Number second, as far as the delimitation process of this constituency is concerned, it is already under doubt because the Rajouri Punch area is falling far away from this constituency, and we know what were the designs. Secondly, the climate is not that bad as they have projected it. So, considering all these things, obviously we doubt their intention.
So, how do you see, the polling percentage, the voter turnout last time in 2019 parliament elections was just 8.9% in this constituency, but assembly elections have not happened for the last 10 years. The last election happened in 2014. So what are you expecting when you're going before the people, especially in the context of August 5 changes made on August 5, 2019? What is the mood?
Look, as far as my observation is concerned, I am myself a political worker going from place to place. I have observed that people have resolved to give them, their verdict rejecting the 5th August 2019 action. The decision they have taken without considering the people and the leaders of the region. Now people have resolved because we are not being allowed to protest if we issue some statement or say something against that statement. We are being imprisoned. FIRs are being lodged. And similarly, people are not being allowed, even for raising the concerns for their genuine demands, they are being slapped with the FIRs, etc. So there's complete repression from the establishment side. So now people have resolved to convey the message to not only to Indian populace and government of India, all across the world, that we have rejected 5th August 2019 verdict, and I am expecting a huge participation from all sections of the society in the coming elections.
Mr. Veeri, one question is about, if we take the argument of the BJP. BJP is saying that National Conference is a dynastic, political party, and so is the People's Democratic Party. And now they are saying this is after August 5, 2019, development has taken place in Kashmir and there is calm, there is no stone pelting, there is no protest. And that is the argument there. And now, given the kind of delimitation that has happened, what in your view is going to be the verdict of the people? As National Conference people, your leaders in your party have said that people will express their aspiration through vote. But is it the only route through which that you are saying that we will give our verdict, because the judicial verdict on Article 370 is already public?
Look, as far as the dynastic allegations are concerned, if you allow me, I can count more than 40 families which are in the Bharatiya Janata Party who have come all along from the dynastic sources. Secondly, they have taken more than 24 families from the Congress, to whom they were alleging that they are the dynastic product of dynasty. They have, got them into the fold of BJP. And in Maharashtra, there is a famous joke going around that if you want to vote BJP, you are actually voting for the Congress candidates. So they can't, make those wild allegations. Secondly, as in anybody from the dynasty, if he comes in the politics, he has to contest the election. It is the people who give him vote. You take the example of Dr. Farooq Abdullah, take example of Umar Abdullah. They have to go through ups and downs. They lost the election, they won the election. Similarly, Mehbooba Mufti, she lost the election, she won the election. And if the third generation is coming forward, they will have to face the people. If people accept them, what is the problem? This is, after all, the democracy. Secondly, as far as second part of your question is concerned,
the judicial verdict on Article 370 is out, because that was the argument by Umar Abdullah that we will fight it in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But that verdict is out. So what is the,
Again, you see, go through the contents of that verdict. It is similar as was given in case of Babri Masjid, that they did not find temple there. They did not, that demolition of mosque was, again, it was unfortunate and should have not taken place. But now there is the Astha. So similar kind of verdict has been given, keeping all the technicalities aside, and then they gave verdict in favor of government, rejecting that, conceding that abrogation of article or inoperability of the Article 370. We are not being allowed. We feel suppressed. The people of Kashmir feel suppressed. They say, where they will go? What is the way out? The way out is show their, anger, show their aspiration through the mode of ballot.
Mr. Veeri, one question that is in the mind of many critics is that National Conference has a history since 1931. It started as a political movement against the Dogra Maharaja. And then Sheikh Abdullah, as then Prime Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, was arrested for 22 years in separate stints. And then there was 75 Accord, Indira Abdullah Accord or Beg Partha Sarthi Award. And similarly, then in 1984, Farooq Abdullah's government was toppled when Indira Gandhi was at the helm of affairs. And we have seen the 96 elections or the recent changes after August 5. What gives you hope as a political party after these experiences of the last 90 plus years?
We have to, keep our political fight going on. We can't say. In politics, you can't predict what will happen tomorrow, what will happen day after tomorrow. But we are a firm belief that we have never said anything which is against the people of this area. As far as this militancy is concerned, in 1989, when they started this militancy here in Jammu and Kashmir, probably this was the only organization, National Conference, and its leadership, who asked people not to fall prey to these subversive activities because we won't get anything. Now see, in the foresight, after 35 years, what we have achieved? Nothing. We have lost more than 3 lakh people. There is nothing, no leader is there. Again, National Conference is there, which is fighting for all the injustices taken place during the period. Similarly, in 22 years, we had a struggle. We were, struggling that time. We were fighting for our genuine aspect. Promises extended to our leadership by then leadership of India. They started fiddling with that. Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah rose against those fiddles. He said, you have promised us something within the framework of the constitution, and we have rejected Muslim Pakistan to join the secular India, but with certain guarantees. But you are now, there is some doubts are taking place, and you are extending certain laws. So we started our struggle and we were imprisoned for 22 years. Unfortunately, again, certain developments took place in 1971 when there was a geographical change on the other side of the subcontinent. The effect of those changes, they cast their influence over us as well. So again, our leadership took another decision. They say we have to give relief and reprieve to our people, give them some another field where they can progress, they can develop, and taking them out of 22 years of that modest. So National Conference always, worked for the people, worked for their welfare, and we are hopeful that inshallah some developments will take place within the region, within our this country mainland, and where we will get our aspirations, we'll get our whatever we are demanding, we will get them one day.
2 last questions. One, that National Conference has been alleging that Sajad Lone's party or Apni party and then Ghulam Nabi Azad's DPAP are BJP's A, B and C teams. And even the allegation is on the PDP that it's also one of the B teams of BJP. But a counter question would be that Umar Abdullah himself has been, part of the NDA government in 2001 and 2002 as Minister of State for MEA. Mm-hmm. So how do you justify this? Because you have also worked with the BJP.
We have not worked with the BJP. Whereas as far as the Sajad Lone and other parties, Altaf Bukhari is considered, they have openly expressed their, desire to join the Bharatiya Janata Party if they wish to take them. As far as Sajad Lone is concerned, he say Modi is my elder brother, and at times he say he's like my father. So he has expressly, stated that they are part and extension of BJP. As far as we are concerned, The Umar Abdullah being external affairs minister, junior external affairs minister during Vajpayee government, it was a combination of so many people and so many secular parties were there. That was a combination for the governance of this country. We were not part of BJP. And whereas these parties...
What do you mean to say that you were not part of the coalition government with the BJP?
We were...
Like the PDP was from
That's
2000.
what I'm coming to. Now, as far as the PDP is concerned, in 2014, if you remember, Mufti Muhammad Said, asking people to vote for the PDP because the PDP is the only party which will fight against those forces which have killed innocents in the Gujarat. This is the statement still prevalent in the newspapers. I can show you the cutting also. But after getting 28 seats, you see how they behaved.
I interviewed and he said that it's an electoral arithmetic and it's a pragmatic, it will be a paradigm shift, this coalition with BJP.
Yeah. And we requested them, don't go with them, don't go with the forces which are inimical to the interest of the Kashmir. But they refused. We extended our support unconditionally, but they did not listen to us. And finally, you see what happened within 2 years, 3 years.
My last question, Anantnag, Rajouri seat. Mehbooba Mufti is fighting. She is one of the strong candidates. And you have Mia Altaf, who has some, pockets of influence in the Gujjar and Pahadi belt in Rajouri and Poonch and Pir Panchal. So what is your assessment? Who is going to win? Can you predict a winner for us?
We are hopeful that Mia Altaf will be having landslide victory because people have looked into the designs of Mehbooba ji. Earlier, she took shelter under the PAGD at the time of abrogation and post-abrogation. Then there was an election of the District Development Council, which she recommended not to contest. But Dr. Farooq Abdullah advised all the associates of that PAG that we have to contest the election.
People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration.
Gupkar Declaration, yes. They say we have to contest all these DDC seats. Otherwise, they will take the seats if we boycott and tell people all across the world that people are with us. So we contested. And then Dr. Farooq Abdullah at the earlier stage, at the first stage, he distributed certain mandates for DDC. Probably they went to the National Conference candidates and they objected. Mehbooba Mufti, Tariq Ahmed, they objected. They say we have to design a formula, and they designed a formula saying where from the MLA who has won in 2014 election, we have to ask him who he will like to field. We will give that, liberty and that constituency to winning MLA. So at that time, we have 4 seats here. We had all the 4 seats went to the PDP. And the interest was severely, damaged at that time. Similarly, you see the case of Chaudhry Muhammad Ramzan, 6 seats, they all went to the People's Conference. Abdurrahim Rasir is another example. Ali Muhammad Dar. There are so many senior leaders who got nothing in that DDC election. All went to them. Now, if we take that formula, which Umar Abdullah last time told them, that you have set a formula. The winning candidate will get preference. Now, these 3 seats belong to National Conference. And
sorry, this brings me to another important question. You had 3 MPs, Farooq Abdullah, Akbar Lone, and Hasnan Masoodi. And August 5 happened during their presence. Yeah. What did they do in the parliament?
Dr. Farooq Abdullah was imprisoned. As you know, he was jailed here. Even Home Minister said, "Kanpati idhar rakhun ke laun idhar." How, unparliamentary language and how aggressive they were at that time. Muhammad Akbar Lone, he had some sort of health issues. He had a paralysis on one side. He could not do much. Now, as far as the Hasnan Masoodi is concerned, he was politically, he was new to the political maneuvering and other things, but he played his role beautifully. He spoke on the floor of the House and continuously, even if he raised any issue during 0 hour, he would conclude at the 370. He would always conclude at 370. He tried his level best. What else could have been done?
So this was Mr. Veeri speaking to us, and he's very confident that the National Conference will script a victory on the Anantnag Rajouri seat. Thank you very much.
The Federal is organizing the Kanyakumari Mini Marathon 2024 to commemorate Mother's Day and Nurses Day this year on May 12. This event is sponsored by Repco Home Finance.